As the merchant of the truth, Hurricane to Bayern is imminent. That's reported from all German sources and English sources who reference back to those German sources. So that's currently where we are at with the hurricane news. Um, and basically, Bayern is preparing contracts for Hurricane after having reached an agreement with Tottenham. So, how will it all pan out? Will he accept, so on and so forth? We don't know, but that's just kind of the standpoint where we are right now, where Bayern and Tottenham have reached an agreement, and now it's up to Hurricane, which I find very, very interesting because the British sources, especially like Sky Sports News and I forgot what the other person is called, but who's been like extremely reliable in this situation. Let me try and find their name. Paul O'Keefe, hoping I'm saying this right. According to him, um, you know, this isn't necessarily something that he thinks will go through. He thinks like he's questioning like what's going on, and he's been like very clear. I know Bastian Closer. I see you in the chat. I don't. I don't know how to take this news. If I'm being completely honest, I almost don't believe it because I feel like it's very strange. It's very strange the way this all came about. So the journalists were apparently briefed yesterday by the German side, so that would have been by Bayern. But the way it's all come about is very, very odd. That the fact that like we've reached an agreement with Tottenham, but now it's up to Harry Kane. Whereas like you would have had to reach an agreement with Harry Kane first before reaching agreement with the team. So I think this is a very strange way for it to have gone about, and I almost wonder if there's like a case where he's gonna reject it and it's gonna look favorable for Tottenham. By the way, if he rejects it, bro, I'm off the internet. Like if he rejects the contract that we're gonna send him, I'm gonna be off the internet. That's all I'm gonna say. Like the second-hand embarrassment from Bayern's perspective is just absolutely ridiculous at that point. Like I said, like the two really reliable people in this transfer saga have been Plettenberg and Paul O'Keefe. And Paul O'Keefe is here. If you go through his Twitter, he's basically been saying that you know the German clubs were briefed about this yesterday, but he's heard absolutely nothing back from Tottenham's side itself. So, and if you read all the reports, from all the reliable journalists that have been reporting this from England, they've all been saying that, according to sources in Germany. So basically, they are also saying that basically they've been briefed by Bayern, but not by Tottenham. And I think there is a very clear distinction because I find this very, very strange. But I also don't think that Bayern would brief journalists if there wasn't anything to it. Because the only reason why you would do something like that, like tell us the journalist if there's nothing to it, is if you're pressuring Tottenham. But as we've seen in the past week, they don't care about that. So I don't know. I find it very strange the way it's all gone about. I'm just kind of waiting to see. I think we'll know more by the end of today. I don't think it's going to take too long. I don't think it's going to be like another drawn out saga. I think we'll find out within the next couple of hours. Honestly, I think like 2 to 3 hours, and we'll have the information out. The fee for Hurricane is supposedly at 120 million euros with add-ons included. Um, yeah, I'm just kind of like scrolling through. Bild is reporting it, of course, as well, that Bayern has agreed with Tottenham. I'm just scrolling through my time. I'm just trying to see if there's like any updates or anything beyond just the fact that I don't know. I just feel it just to me it just feels strange. It just feels strange. Like imagine if he rejected. Imagine that. That would be absolutely crazy and hilarious. But no, nothing so far. Of course, we get images of planes, of planes, of planes, of planes, of planes, of planes, of Bayern stuff, planes, so on and so forth, flying left, right, and center. But yeah, just a quick update from Paul Keefe, who's basically saying, in a response to someone who's saying that I was made aware the story was going to be run last night. Nobody Spurs related or Kane related are backing it up yet. They might, of course, but it's very strange tactics. Then he says, let's see. It's all very cloak and dagger with various people having different motives. So murky that it's probably best to wait now and see eventually what the truth, what truth emerges. Which it's just such a weird way of phrasing it, I think. Like, if all the German journalists are reporting it, why why aren't the British ones? Like what from British sources? That's my issue. I just think this transfer's gonna fail. I just feel like it's gonna fail. I just feel like he's gonna decide to stay. That's just my gut feeling. I felt this transfer was kind of silly from the get go, and now that we've agreed a fee with Tottenham, I just feel like it's gonna fail somehow. But we'll see. We will see. We will see how it all pans out. As you all know, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I don't want him at Bayern personally. I don't think he fits, and I think he costs too much. And I think we've got significantly bigger issues that we're not addressing at all. But the club has decided to pursue it, and so we'll be there for it basically. But like if it was up to me, I definitely wouldn't spend that kind of amount of money, that kind of obscene amount of money on a player with 1 year on his contract who is 30. Then to me, that's basically screaming like Sadio Mane 2.0. Now I don't think it's going to fail as badly as that because that would have to go horrendously wrong. But I also don't think it's going to like go as well as people think. It kind of flies in like the face of our transfer policy recently. And you can say, well, it's because we've got new people in charge. That's fair, but we've clearly made transfers in the past couple of years of talented but younger individuals, and now we're going for someone that's basically at the end of their career, which is very interesting because at that point you could have just stayed with Lewandowski, and you all know I wanted Lewandowski gone, but at that point you could have just stayed with Lewandowski. I don't know, just strange to me. Um, let's see what Akshat Barbal says. Don't overthink it. I think he's coming. The only problem, in my opinion, is that it is very close to the start of the EPL. Well, the rumors were always that's going to happen this week if it was going to happen, because quite frankly, the thing was that they both clubs wanted an agreement by Friday. Today is Thursday, so has an agreement been reached, or is Bayern just lying? I don't know. um, I'm just like scouting Twitter right now just to see if there's like an update to the story while things are progressing, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like nothing new. So we're basically just waiting to see if Harry Kane accepts or not. And I can't see anything about him accepting. So we'll just wait and see. That's ultimately what it boils down to. We will just wait and see. Shout out to Plattenberg though, because a lot of people thought like his sources would die down now that the old board is gone. But clearly that isn't the case. Clearly he's still, getting the source directly from Bayern, and he's been spot on in this transfer window. My issue is, when will the club address the more significant and more pressing issues, aka a number 6, that Tuchel has been crying about since he came here? He's been basically complaining about it every single week, and the club is just ignoring it. Even though I really like how Lime has been performing, if Tuchel wants a number 6, he's your manager, get him a number 6. That should be the priority. Especially with like all the sales and the fact that we're gonna sell Pavard as well, most likely. I'm just like, okay, we're selling players. Okay, we're spending a lot of players now on Harry Kane potentially, but we're also selling a good amount of players for a good amount of money. Where's the rest of the money being spent on? Now, there was a report earlier coming out today about Bayern looking at solutions for goalkeepers. I'm 100% for that. I'm 100% for that because one of the names listed was Diogo Costa, which you all know if you've been watching this channel for a while. We've been advocating to get Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa. I keep saying Diogo Costa, because he does speak German. So that would be perfect. And he's obviously very young and obviously very, very good. With that said, still no update on the Kane matter, but it does seem like, in a couple of hours we will have a definitive answer for it, whether he accepts or not. At least we know that Tottenham supposedly have accepted the deal, which, if he doesn't accept, I'll just say this. I will just say this. If Tottenham have accepted the deal, right, and we've come to terms with Tottenham after like months and months of negotiations, if he now rejects it, one, he's the biggest loser I've ever seen, but two, we'd be the biggest losers we've ever seen, the world has ever seen. So a lot of Bayern fans obviously right now are very, very happy, but I just feel like, ooh, if he doesn't accept, oof, we'd be the laughing stock, not just in Europe, but in the world. And that is not something that I want to see. So we'll see how it pans out. Anyway, I think, that's enough for the update for now. We'll see how it all pans out, and I'll see all of you next time. Probably in a couple of hours, honestly, when we have an update to the situation, as right now we don't. So until then, peace out, have a nice one, and see ya. Bye.